In today's episode, we delve into the intricate interplay between Western esoteric traditions and psychology, with a particular focus on the seminal contributions of Israel Regardie. Regardie's work, characterized by a unique fusion of esoteric and psychological concepts, has significantly influenced the field of Western esotericism. Our primary aim is to explore the concept of psychologization in esoteric studies, particularly how Regardie's work exemplifies this phenomenon. Before we dive in, I'd love to remind you to sign up for my newsletter. Don't rely on the capricious algorithm and social media platforms that could shut down whenever they decide. By signing up for my newsletter, you will be always up to date with my work and will get access to exclusive content, pictures, insights, and academic research. You will find the link in bio, the cards, the info box, and the pinned comment. You will also find all the ways to support Angela's Symposium, as this project is brought to you by you. Check out all the services I offer on drangelapuca.com and join my inner symposium on Patreon, Coffee, or YouTube memberships. And thank you to the generous souls who make this knowledge available to all. Now, let the symposium begin. Hello Symposiast, I'm Dr. Angela Puca, Religious Studies PhD, and this is your online resource for the academic study of magic, esotericism, paganism, shamanism, and all things occult. Israel Regardie stands as a pivotal figure in the context of psychologization within Western esotericism. However, the prevalent interpretation of his work, primarily through the lens of psychologization, may oversimplify his broader impact and intentions. To address these, we will examine a multifaceted typology of psychologization, encompassing complementary, terminological, reductive, and idealist modes. This approach allows us to view Regardie's ideas as a complex network of interrelated processes, offering a fresh perspective on the interplay between psychological and esoteric discourses in his work. In this episode, I offer a brief introduction, setting the stage for a more detailed exploration in our upcoming Magus lecture. This in-depth session will be part of our monthly lecture series, accessible to my Magus and higher tier patrons. Don't worry if you can't attend live. All Magus and higher patrons will have access to the recording along with a rich archive of over 55 past lectures. So wait no longer and click on my Patreon link to join my inner symposium, my bright esoteric community. In this episode, we will dissect how these four modes of psychologization manifest in Regardie's extensive body of work, revealing that his approach to psychologizing esoteric discourse is nuanced and multifaceted. This exploration underscores the importance of understanding psychologization in a differentially nuanced manner, accounting for the distinct discourses strategies Regardie employed. Francis Israel Regardie, a key figure in the esoteric movement initiated by the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, is renowned for his exploration of the connection between esoteric and psychological discourses. His 6-decade involvement in Western esotericism was marked by a consistent effort to clarify the intersection of esoteric theories and practices within contemporary psychological models and psychotherapeutic techniques. Regardie's ideas align with the concept of psychologization, as described by scholars like Wouter Hanegraaff, Marco Pasi, and Igor Asprem. This trend, identified in modern internal discourses on magic, involves integrating esoteric ideas with psychological paradigms. However, the characterization of Regardie's work as predominantly psychologized warrants a more comprehensive analysis. In examining Regardie's dual career as a magic practitioner and a psychotherapist, we introduced a nuanced model of psychologization, which includes complementary, terminological, reductive, and idealist modes. This model helps us understand the complex relationship between esoteric and psychological discourses, challenging the general characterization of modern esoteric discourse as merely psychologized. Regardie's journey through esotericism and psychology began with his birth in London to a Russian Orthodox Jewish immigrant family. His early interest in art shifted towards esotericism after encountering the works of Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. This led him to explore theosophy, yoga, and the Kabbalah. His initiation into the Societas Rosicruciana in America and subsequent association with Aleister Crowley significantly influenced his development. Regardie's work, such as The Tree of Life and A Garden of Pomegranates, reflects his deep engagement with esotericism and psychology. His initiation into the Stella Matutina, an Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn offshoot, and his disillusionment with the order's stance on practical magic led to his disclosure of its teachings in his The Golden Dawn Compendium. Regardie's interest in psychoanalysis, influenced by Freud and Jung, became prominent during his time with the Stella Matutina. His formal education at the Columbia Institute of Chiropractic and his service in the U.S. Army during World War II further shaped his approach to psychotherapy, specializing in Reichian techniques. To understand Regardie's influence on esoteric discourse, we must clarify psychologization. This involves the interaction of psychological and esoteric discourses, often seen as mutually exclusive outside esoteric currents. Regardie's work demonstrates 4 distinct psychologization processes. Let's now explore these concepts with specific examples from Israel Regardie's work. The first one is complementary psychologization. In Regardie's approach, psychological and esoteric discourses are seen as distinct yet complementary, reflecting Ian Barbour's dialogue model. For instance, in his book The Middle Pillar, Regardie emphasizes the importance of psychotherapy as a foundation for esoteric practice. He argues that psychological health and self-awareness are prerequisites for engaging effectively in esoteric rituals and practices. This view is evident where he states psychotherapy is of utmost importance to the Kabbalist, magician, or mystic. Here, Regardie aligns psychological well-being with the successful practice of Kabbalistic and magical rituals, advocating for a harmonious relationship between these two realms. The second model is terminological psychologization. Regardie often replaces esoteric metaphysical terminology with psychological terms, while preserving the original esoteric meaning. In The Art of True Healing, he uses psychological language to describe the process of visualization and meditation, traditionally esoteric practices. For example, he refers to the visualization of the Sephiroth in the Kabbalistic Tree of Life as a form of mental exercise for psychological and spiritual health. This approach does not alter the esoteric content, but frames it in a language more accessible and acceptable to contemporary audiences. The third mode is reductive psychologization. This mode is evident in Regardie's interpretation of magical practices through the lens of psychological theories, often reducing esoteric concepts to psychological phenomena. In The Tree of Life, Regardie interprets the practice of ceremonial magic as a method for accessing and integrating the unconscious mind, aligning with Freudian and Jungian psychoanalytic theories. He suggests that the symbols and rituals of magic are effective tools for psychological exploration and transformation, thereby reducing their esoteric significance to psychological mechanisms. The fourth model is idealistic psychologization. Regardie maintains an identity between psychological and esoteric discourses, without subordinating one to the other, viewing the psyche as the root of sacrality. In A Garden of Pomegranates, he explores the Kabbalistic concept of the soul, aligning it with psychological states of consciousness. This approach does not diminish the esoteric understanding of the soul, but rather reinterprets it through a psychological framework, suggesting that spiritual experiences are deeply rooted in the psyche. Regardie's work demonstrates a complex interplay of these psychologization modes, intertwining psychological and esoteric elements in a nuanced manner. His early works blend psychological and esoteric elements, with clear articulations appearing in My Rosicrucian Adventure and The Middle Pillar. His later works, like Roll Away the Stone, return to earlier reductionist themes, equating magic with a primitive psychological system. Regardie's approach to psychologization is not straightforward. His teachings and practices are infused with psychological elements, but labeling them simply as psychologized does not fully capture the complexity of his ideas. A more accurate portrayal involves a four-part typology, the one that we have just discussed: the complementary, terminological, reductive, and idealistic psychologization. This framework offers a clearer understanding of how Regardie melded psychological and esoteric discourses, providing a more nuanced perspective on the processes involved in his work. In conclusion, while Regardie's work integrates esoteric discourse with psychology, this integration is multifaceted and complex, characterized by various modes of psychologization. This differentiated typology reveals Regardie's engagement in distinct psychologizing strategies, used both separately and in combination, sometimes leading to logical challenges but generally maintaining internal coherence. This clarification is crucial for accurately understanding Regardie's contributions and for refining the concept of psychologization within modern esoteric discourse. Therefore, any claims about modern esoteric discourse being psychologized might probably benefit from being re-examined in light of this typology. This is it for today's video. If you watched until this point, leave me a brain or a mind emoji. Now, my dear symposiasts, this project of delivering free academic knowledge based on peer-reviewed scholarship can only exist thanks to your support. So if you have the means and want to offer this knowledge to all, please consider supporting my work with a one-off PayPal donation by joining memberships, my inner symposium on Patreon or Ko-fi, super thanking me in the comments, or checking out my services at drangelapuca.com. You can book private lectures, tutoring sessions, commission a video, and much more. All links are in a pinned comment and in the info box. Also, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter to get to know me better through my personal reflections and ponderings over my academic work and on all things esoteric. If you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be always notified when I upload a new video. Share this video and your favorite video around with your friends, family, and everybody who might be interested. And leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think about today's episode's topic. Thank you all so much for being here, and stay tuned for all the academic fun. Bye for now.
Today we hold the ground, we'll never disappear.